Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to catch us every Friday on the Friday Fix, and every Sunday, or Friday Fix at 7 p.m. and every Sunday 1 p.m. on the Sunday Town Hall. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Probably better than Jeff Bezos is doing today.
Probably better than the people ordering stuff off Temu.
Sheen, any of these places right now, man. Seems kind of crazy out there the way he's been kicked up these tariffs. And really, I mean, he's trying to blame everybody else for letting people know, hey, this is what you're really paying right now.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, why are you trying to hide it? Like, hey, don't let him know. You know,
because he lied about it. We'll jump right into that, though. A pissed Trump called Jeff Bezos after learning Amazon considered breaking out a tariff charge. The White House took aggressive aim at Amazon, with President Donald Trump putting in a call to Amazon founder Jeff Bezos Tuesday morning after the company considered displaying the added cost of tariffs on certain items. Trump called Bezos to complain about reports that Amazon was considering displaying the cost of U.S. tariffs next to prices for certain products on the company's website. Two senior White House officials told CNN. Trump later said it was a good call. Jeff Bezos is a very nice guy. He was terrific, Trump told reporters on Tuesday. He solved the problem very quickly. Good guy. Punchbowl News first reported that Amazon will soon display how much of items cost derived from tariffs right next to the product's total listed price. The move could directly illustrate to American consumers how Trump's tariffs are affecting the cost of goods. Trump has slapped 145% tariffs on imports from China and 10% minimum tax on all other countries. The call came shortly after one of the senior officials phoned the president to inform him of the story. Of course he was pissed. One of the officials, granted anonymity to speak candidly, told CNN. Why should a multi-billion-dollar company pass off costs to consumers? At a briefing Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called the move a hostile and political act, adding that she has spoken about the matter with President Trump earlier. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick echoed Leavitt's comments, saying it was a hostile act if a company goes out of its way to make it seem like tariffs have caused prices to change. It's nonsense, he said Tuesday in a CNBC interview. A 10% tariff is not going to change virtually any price, he added, referring to the nearly universal baseline tariff on all countries. The only price will change would be a product that we don't make here, like mango. The 10% tariff, however, is hardly the only one in effect. An Amazon spokesperson in a statement to CNN that the move was never a consideration for a main Amazon site, and nothing has been implemented on any Amazon properties. Amazon, however, said it was considering the idea of listing import charges on certain products on Haul. It's a spinoff website that sells items below $20, but the change wasn't rolled out. This was never approved and not going to happen, Amazon spokesperson said. However, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer encouraged businesses to do just that.
You know, the whole thing is why you have to hide it from the consumer, because basically, if you think about it, it's just a sales tax on imports that we have to pay. So they're just taking more money out of our pockets at the end of the day. I mean, I got this Temu one here, and it's just crazy. Like the guy said, he ordered, and this is just Temu. It's like the subtotal, they discounted it $131.75. Subtotal came out to $63.66. So the import tax on it alone was $89.46.
So more than the actual product itself.
And so, I mean, Amazon can try to hide it, but it's still going to happen.
So think about it like this. Okay, so when things happen, say we have a natural disaster here and people price gouge, right?
Yeah.
They send the prices up way higher, like for water or something like that. Even though they have a bunch of water, like, you know what? Instead of selling this water for $4.99, let's sell it for $15.99. We get on them about that. There's basically laws against that. So if I'm a company and overnight my prices go up okay, if something costs you $63 or whatever, and I have to pay an $89 tariff tax on top of that, it would look like I'm price gouging you. So why don't I itemize and show you that? If you order something off Uber Eats, they tell you taxes, fees, delivery charge, everything. Itemize.
It should be like, yo, your meal costs $10, but taxes, fees, this and that.
Everybody does.
$34.95.
On the restaurant, they do the same thing for you. If they add a tip, it says tip added or propina or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's in there. So he's mad because they basically said, you know what? Let me show you what these people are going to charge you. Because in reality, after this is over, they could just artificially keep the prices high if they wanted to. Yeah. If they don't tell you how much it is. So now, if we don't know what's actually we knew what we were paying before, but how much is this? Are we actually paying from the seller now versus what Amazon's actually charging on top of it?
Yeah,
that's the whole thing right there. And that's the kind of the.
I mean, I wouldn't, if I was him, I wouldn't want transparency from Amazon either, because you know how many people use Amazon. Amazon is a staple here in America now. Yeah, and so when that stuff starts hitting and people are like, "Dang, I got to pay this," then they're gonna be like, we do have to pay the tariffs.
He lied. Everyone said that other countries are going to pay the tariffs. And now they're saying,
Mexico's supposed to pay for the wall.
Now they're saying, it's a shame that a multi-billion-dollar company has to pass on the charges. If something you ordered costs $63 and the charge to get it from that country is now $89 more on top of what you had to pay. 89 more. That's more.
You're not going to bring it over. You're not going to do it.
It's crazy. Why would I eat that cost? You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of things are coming from, not everything, but a lot of things. Even 10%. Am I going to eat 10%?
No.
What company's going to just eat 10% of the cost? Where are they going to try to go make them, you're making a bunch of money and you're not paying taxes. We all know that. So you should do something about the tax code, but you're not going to. That's like he told Hillary Clinton. You're not going to, because it's people who help you fund you. That's why you're not going to do it.
From it.
That's exactly the problem. You know what I mean? And that's why this is a very serious situation, because they're really trying to make it like, then they brought up the fact that like, why didn't you bring up when Joe Biden's inflation? Why didn't you tell people how much that was? Well, inflation is something that happens within this country. And the last 4 administrations added to that inflation number. It wasn't just like it was Joe Biden. So that would necessarily be political unless you said that this percentage of the inflation was this administration, this percentage was this one. It's never been done in this country before. It's like I told him, it's cost versus like an actual, like this is a law that he put into place. This is something he did.
You know what happens? And a lot of people are getting taxed on it. Hey, this it's what you voted for.
Absolutely.
He told you what he was going to do. You're like, let's do it, because he lied to you about the details of it. You should always read.
You fail for it.
You always look at the cover like, hey, do you sign this agreement? Yeah, but you never read the fine print. And this fine print is going to hit you in the pockets, because like the one guy was on TV. He was online. He was like, ha ha ha, I live in China. How much things in my house is made here? Excuse me, I'm using an accent. How many things here are made in America? He's like, nothing. He's like, now check your house. And I was like, fuck you. And I was like, motherfucker.
He's right.
Look at my mouse. Where's it made?
You know where it's made. Like I know
made in China. Made in China.
Bro, I lifted up my calculator. Everything we got in here, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Everything we probably got in here. Yeah. He knows that because they make the things
70% of the things that come onto Amazon's website that are ordered there are made in China.
You got people who have businesses that are set up to be like they're middlemen to other distributors or you know what I mean, to sellers that sell people items that you just blew up their business, man, because of what you're doing. You're basically saying that the problem with this whole entire theory is this right here. You're basically saying that, hey, another country can actually buy the amount of goods that we purchase from them, and they can't. It's not there.
You know what? I'm going to stand with the president on this. I want him to continue with the tariffs and continue on with his plan.
Until it touches us, bro.
He said, hey, we're going to have to deal with some hardships here. And these people said, yeah, let's do it. So let's see the strong.
Let's see the strong.
Let's see the strong. Hey, I got one here. It starts off as, we are citizens. Oklahoma City family traumatized after ICE raids home, but they weren't the suspects. A woman says her family's fresh start in Oklahoma turned into a nightmare after federal immigrant agents raided their home, taking their phones, laptops, and life savings, even though they were not the suspects the agents were looking for. The agents had served a search warrant for the home, but the suspect listed on the warrant did not live in the house. The woman who actually lives in the house had just moved to Oklahoma City from Maryland with her family about 2 weeks earlier. The woman, who News 4 will refer to as Marissa, and her 3 daughters came to Oklahoma looking for a slower, more affordable pace of life. They rented a house in the seemingly safe northwest Oklahoma City neighborhood. Her husband stayed back in Maryland a couple extra weeks, planning to join them this weekend. I was like, okay, Oklahoma's my home now, Marissa said. But any comfort had disappeared Thursday morning when about 20 men armed with guns busted through the door. I don't know who they are, she said. It was dark. All the lights were off. Marissa said the men identified themselves as federal agents with the U.S. Marshals, ICE, and FBI. On Tuesday, a spokesperson for the U.S. Marshals Service denied having agents present during the raid, telling News 4 that they were aware of the operation. They were aware of the operation before it happened, but did not assist in any capacity. I keep asking them, "Who are you? What are you doing here? What's happening?" she said, and they said, "We have a warrant for the house, a search warrant." She said they ordered her and her daughter outside into the rain before they could put on clothes. They wanted me to change in front of all of them. In between all of them, she said, "My husband has not even seen my daughter in her undergarments, her own dad, because it's respectful. You have her out there, a minor, in her underwear." Marissa said the names on the search warrant were not hers or anyone in her family. She recognized them as names listed on mail still arriving at the house, likely from a former resident.
Wow. So they basically kicked someone's door in, went to their home and said, "You know what? We don't care if you're these people or not.
We don't care if you're U.S. citizens or not. We're not going to
change your clothes right here in front of me.
You let you and your daughters go outside butt naked and get dressed." You know who they used to do that to? Us.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And
this is crazy. This is not going to slow down, folks. These are American citizens. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have cased the house. The police usually case the house before they go somewhere.
Yeah. We had a person come on today basically and say, why don't you guys give the actual articles about these things? Because sometimes we'll play shorts, and they'll just be short versions of a longer form video that we have, and they'll kind of tell parts of the story. He's like, why don't you guys give names and things like that so that we can know and we can go look up and research? Well, we do. And this is a case right here exactly that what you're talking about. We just talked about the guy, Juan. I can't remember his last name. I think it might be Guzman or something like that from Florida.
Yeah, Guzman.
You know what I mean? This is happening to American citizens. These are American citizens this happened to.
And the reason it's happening to them, I mean, maybe it was a warrant, right? But there was no person there that they were looking for. They were just tearing up the home. They didn't have to kick them out in the rain. They could have made them stay there. If you got 20 officers, you can have three officers watch the family right there on the couch while you're searching.
How do you get a warrant for a place where people no longer live? You haven't done any due diligence at all. You haven't, like you said, you haven't even looked. You just said, I can go into your home because I can. Well, a person could live there years ago.
They're passing things. They're trying to pass laws now where they can just storm into your house looking. If they feel that you're harboring, as they say, aliens or migrants or illegal people here, they can just storm your house. They don't need a warrant anymore.
Yeah, this country has gone to, I mean, people like we get a lot of different people who speak on things. He was like, man, it's like you guys are living in the Middle Ages, man, in America. And I had to defend us. I was like, yeah, we're not quite, I won't say that, but you know, it is going backwards. But I mean, this is getting there. When you can storm inside someone's home because you can say, oh, someone lived here before, I got a warrant, they should be able to sue the hell out of you.
And they said this, and they said,
period.
She said the agents didn't care. She said they were dismissive, very rough, very careless. She said, I kept pleading. I kept telling them we weren't criminals. They were treating us like criminals. We were here by ourselves. We didn't do anything. Marissa said the agents tore apart every square inch of the house, and what few belongings they had, they seized their phones, laptops, and their life savings in cash as evidence.
Okay, let me ask you a question really quickly. What was her full name? If you can give me their full name of the person, because
they just said her name was Maritza.
They didn't give her last name.
No, in fear.
No. What I'm trying to just, I'm wondering, are these people, maybe they are they Latinos?
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here, because is this why they just decided to keep on going with it? Because they were probably looking for someone of Latin descent. Who knows? More than likely, or a person who was black. Who knows? You know what I mean? Haitians, whatever. And so is that why they kept going? Because you're probably one of them. Let's just keep going. Doesn't matter. You probably got fake ID, whatever else. You know what I mean? This is where we're headed right now. We're living in a Gestapo. This is what's happening here. This is who you guys have elected to be president of the United States. A person who relishes dictators, who sits back and he like fawns over them.
Well, no. This is, he's just the tip of the iceberg. There's people around. These are the people that want to go out here and do this. These are people, they could have had mercy for them, but they didn't look like them. So they didn't care. Look, they took their cell phones. They took their money. She's like, and she's saying in here, she's like, look, how am I supposed to feed my kids? How am I supposed to put gas in my car? You took my phone. And one of the cops looked at her and said, yeah, I bet you had a rough morning, didn't you? And stole off with her stuff.
Her life savings, man.
Their life savings.
All their money. And this is, their names are not even on this search warrant, but you can take all their stuff. because it's because of an investigation that you're doing? Is that what you're going to claim? Oh, this is an investigation. These are not the people you're looking for. They don't even live there.
Think about it. The person you came for wasn't there. So instead of you being like, oops, our bad, we apologize, you just double and triple down. You're like, we're going to treat you like criminals anyways, because they're probably brown folks.
More than likely, man. This is where we're at right now in America. And it's getting to a point where something's going to happen where someone's going to die. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to say it that way, but somebody is. Someone's going to be killed accidentally, quote unquote. People who aren't even on these warrants. It's going to happen, man. With this guy.
Well, I remember before it started, I was like, the only way they can successfully get every, you know what I'm saying, immigrant out of the country, they're going to have to storm houses and cut off blocks and put up roadblocks and just do it that way. Like they're doing right now, they're going after the people they can find. Yeah, they know you're showing up to court hearings. A lot of them still loose right now. You're going to work, you're showing up to court hearings. They might catch you at a club. You know what I'm saying? But they know that's where these people congregate, or markets and stuff. Then they're going to have to start deep diving. And I'm telling you,
once people get scared, once you're saying, once people get scared, when they start basically going deep underground, because they're going to have to. Right now, they're still going out to clubs like in Colorado where they found 100 plus people in the nightclub, immigrants there. They're still going out because they're feeling like there's, hey, it's not happening here.
Well, we're hearing about it. It's a blue state. But think about it. Look, folks, I'm telling you, by the time the summer hits, you're going to see the reality of what we're really into. And they're going to start cutting off blocks. They're going to cut off freeways, searching every car. They're going to search every home. They're going to storm every building after a while. Because it's the only way they can do it. Because right now, look, he's upset because they're not deporting enough people. He said 20 million. They haven't even deported 1 million yet.
And I feel like this right now, what he's saying is correct. I feel like there's going to get worse and worse. Right now, they busted the windows out of the nightclub. They're busting people's car windows out. We're seeing it all the time. It's happening. They ran up in these people's homes. It took a guy in Florida. It's a bunch of cases we can name. It's not just one. Yeah. This guy said, this person here who I do a show with said to me, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. I said, man, once you start giving up your rights that way, once you start being okay with them taking away your rights, what else will you give them? You know what I mean? What else are you willing to give up?
Well, people will do that because they feel like, it's not going to affect them. But by the time it does,
it's too late.
It's too late for you.
Trump approval at 100 days, lower than any president in the last 7 decades. Donald Trump won back the Oval Office and took charge of the government amid the strongest poll numbers of his political career. But as the 100-day mark of his presidency approaches, American views of what he has done so far have turned deeply negative, a new CNN poll conducted by SSRS finds. Trump's 41% approval rating is the lowest for any newly elected president at 100 days, dating back at least to Dwight Eisenhower, including Trump's own first term. Approval of Trump's handling of the presidency is down 4 points since March, and 7 points lower than it was in late February. Just 22% say they strongly approve of Trump's handling of the job, a new low. And about twice as many say they strongly disapprove, 45%. Since March, Trump has seen notable drops in approval from women and Hispanic Americans, down 7 points in each group to 36% among women and 28% among Hispanics. Partisan views of Trump's remain broadly polarized, with 86% of Republicans approving and 93% of Democrats disapproving. But among political independents, the president's approval rating has dipped to 31%, matching his first-term low point with that group and about the same as his standing with them in January 2021. The poll finds the president underwater and sinking across nearly all major issues he sought to address during his time in office, with the public's confidence in his ability to handle those issues also on the decline. Trump's approval ratings on the economic issues have dipped notably since his early March, as rollout of his tariffs plan led to volatility in the stock market and worries about rising prices. On the inflation, approval is down 9 points to 35%, and on tariffs themselves is down 4 points to 35%. His marks for handling the economy are down 5 points to a career low 39%. He hit this previous low once in his first term and again this March. Only about half, 52%, expressed confidence in his ability to deal with the economy, down 13 points compared with the December CNN poll. I'm disappointed. I didn't vote for him. I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I figured, he could do things to help the economy, and further disappointment, said 55-year-old Virginia resident who identifies as an independent and participated in the poll. She has worked for the federal government for more than 2 decades and asked that her name not be used.
Yeah, free out of retribution. And, you know, he came on, and I guess he saw his numbers before they popped out. And I'm going to show this True Social tweet that he put out. He said, we don't have a free and fair press in this country anymore. We have a press that writes bad stories and cheats big on polls, and it's compromised and corrupt. Sad.
This is what he does every single time, man. Pretty soon he's going to attack the press. He's going to start putting them in jail because he's going to say they're lying to the public. He's going to make up some excuse and you guys are going to go along with it. I don't try to convince people who are Donald Trump voters. I don't try to convince them. I already know you're not the brightest. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I know this. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I know what you voted for. It's like you know what you voted for. I'm looking at the other people who may have not voted or were independent and maybe voted for him, or whatever the case may be. I'm looking at these people saying, like, now, listen, are you guys convinced that this was the people to follow? They had a plan. They had no clue what was going to happen. They didn't care. They had no clue that this was going to sink the economy, or they didn't care. But it's just strange to me that a lot of you people are staying silent right now. So we got to speak out rapidly because America is falling into a dictatorship, an autocracy, authoritarian government. This is where we're at right now, you know. And so if we don't say something now, pretty soon we're going to be lined up, you know, pretty much having to go through checkpoints because they're looking for immigrants, or they feel like you might have said the wrong thing online.
Sir, that's happening. Like I keep telling everybody, he was happy and go lucky because he got free and he was on this whole revenge tour, which he still is. But he's going to see he's seen his numbers. Soon he's not going to care. He's already threatened to get rid of the Supreme Court. The judges are getting arrested. They're locking people up. American citizens are soon to get deported. You guys don't understand what you've done. Like, I mean, some of you do. Some of you are proud of it, which is fine. That's good. Go lucky for you. Fuck you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Dead ass. But the rest of you aren't going to understand. Like when people you start caring about disappear, or they start doing, you know, putting people on the wall. Like I've been watching The Handmaid's Tale because it came back. And I'm just like, we're so close to that. We're so close.
Absolutely,
but I mean, like, look, he's had 100 days. He told you all the stuff he was going to do, and nothing has happened.
You look at
he's made your life worse. Everyone can. That's the whole thing about a president. When a president comes in, when Joe Biden came in, your life didn't get worse. It got a little better. You know what I'm saying?
Prices may have went up a little bit, but that's because of what had happened.
Natural.
That's all about
happen, right? Donald Trump came in and naturally made hundreds of thousands of people's lives worse on purpose.
It's like this. Like, look at Kash Patel right now in the FBI. They're making people take polygraph tests to see who's leaking. And that's what they're doing. This is getting to the point to where paranoia is the government about everything because they know they're doing the wrong things. He just went and talked down to one of the biggest platforms that we possibly have, which is Amazon. Told dude like, hey, because Amazon, Jeff Bezos also owns the Washington Times as well. And so he basically told him, punked him like, hey, you better go ahead and take that off there and quit telling people what I'm doing around here, or I'm going to do something to you.
What was the worst?
Pretty much he told him.
Political. And what else did they say? They were saying basically it was political.
Hostile and political act. Yeah. It's a hostile act for them to tell you the truth.
Tell you the truth about what you're about to be charged money-wise because
this
of his terror.
Crazy. And you guys, I've watched people today make excuses on my page about it. Several people. Oh, well, that was kind of political. I had his person who I respect as well.
He said it was political when you make it political. This is you're mad because they're telling you the truth and you don't want to see it because it's going to mess up the narrative that you try to use while you're online hiding your face trying to tell people what it is. The truth is he put tariffs on America.
On the American
people. Put it on the other countries. The other countries aren't going to pay the tariffs. The people importing the stuff aren't going to pay the tariffs. The news told you that you're going to have to foot the bill. You didn't believe it because you want to believe the lie. And now you see it, the truth in your face, and you're like, even for them coming out to say Jeff Bezos can't do it.
This ain't even his first lie. He lied his whole first presidency. He lied the entire first. This isn't like we just met the dude or something. It's like we just met. You're like you just met the guy. We know who this is, but you guys chose to believe him over picking the person who was what's the status quo. We act like grocery prices have dropped dramatically. They haven't, but no one's complaining. We act like gas prices are way down. They're not. I had a person go on my page.
You'd be bragging about it.
I had a guy go on my page. Oh, we're paying low gas. You live in Nebraska. You live in Nebraska. Okay, that's why you're paying low fuel.
There's like 10 people.
There's no one.
Town.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's why. You know what I mean? Because it's not like when you live in major cities around people, around things, you pay a little bit more. That's the facts of the matter. Because we're still paying 4 something a gallon here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're paying 2 something. Yeah, because I'm gonna leave it alone. But that's just a fact. Okay, so let's stop with the games. I'm buying this cheap American fuel. Most of the fuel we get in this country is not even from our country. You just lie. I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna respond to that comment.
You know, I'm just wondering what are they gonna say the charge is now? Are they gonna they're gonna probably make it part of shipping?
Yeah, that's what they're gonna have to, and say they're gonna act like it's part of the company is charging you this money.
Yeah,
when it's not. It's this person, but we're good with
that's how
with the lie.
He's like
lie to me.
Don't make it say import tax. Like Timu said, Timu put it on there. They put import tax.
He's going to tax him some more. He's going to probably start trying to make them so they can't even sell products here, because that's the kind of person we have in this country. And everyone thinks that, we're going to start making this stuff in America. Why? So we can pay more. Oh, the person basically said, even if we made the stuff in America, it'll be just as expensive as them putting that tax on there. Don't you know? Understand that? You don't get that? You want Americans to make, like mouses? Like that's what you want us to make in this country? It's cheaper to make it over here. It makes more sense. They're like, this person said inhumane, inhumane, job treatment, right? Dude, you understand what our industrial revolution was part of? Every country has to go through that in order to get themselves out of poverty. That's not inhumane. It's called, like, when we were down in Colombia, things cost less in that country because people in that country make less. That's part of the game. That's why when you go to LA, it costs more. Why? Because people make more. Like, you act like you don't understand that. That's just a basic economic fact.
Yeah. Well, we ain't got that much time to worry about it. Pandemic warning to the U.S. as a new virus spreads to all 50 states. Leading health experts have warned that the U.S. is starting down the barrel of another pandemic as bird flu spirals out of control on U.S. farms. So far, H5N1 outbreak has affected nearly 1,000 dairy cow herds and resulted in more than 70 human cases, including the first confirmed death. The U.S. poultry industry is at significant risk, says experts from the Global Virus Network, particularly in areas with high-density farming and where personal protective practices may be lacking. Since 2022, more than 168 million poultries in the U.S. have been lost or culled due to the bird flu outbreak in America, which has caused the price of eggs to skyrocket. Although human-to-human transmission has not yet been observed, experts caution that the mutation and reassortment, when two viruses simultaneously infect a host and exchange genetic material, could raise the risk of it occurring. The GVN is now urging world government to confront the threat of H5N1 avian influenza by strengthening surveillance efforts and enforcing strict biosecurity protocols. Now, we've talked about this before. This is the reason the egg prices were up. And so a lot of people from the CDC have been fired. Experts are calling for people to do something about it because it has transmitted, as you said before, one human has already died from it. It's already hitting cow herds now. But first it was just hitting the birds. Now it's hitting the cows. So the egg prices are probably going to go back up. The price of milk is probably going to go up and your shelves are going to get a little emptier. And then when it starts affecting humans, it's going to be a problem. And we don't have the right government in place that's going to handle this correctly. We have measles running rampant through our country right now, and they're not doing anything about it. And so this is the bird flu. This is our new COVID that's already here. It's going to hit us hard, and your government is going to ignore it while they're bleeding you out because you can't even buy your Tylenol off Amazon for cheap.
And what they want to do is the same thing he's going after pharmaceutical companies as well, with trying to big tariffs and which is going to cut into the amount of pharmaceutical drugs that we have in this. It's just a problem, man. Everything that and everybody's going to say, oh, it's what happened when Trump's in office. Everything happens when he's in office is bad because he's not a good president. Let's just be real. He's not good. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's like, man, I could be a better president than him. I don't even know what all to do, but I can come in and do a much better job than he could right now. You know what I mean? Because what I'm not going to do is every other day say, oh, maybe I'm going to make it 5,000% tariffs on you. It's like he's like a cartoon or some shit.
Well, some people like to terrorize other people. If you have that power to terrorize people at any point in time,
you heard what he said, right? What? He was like, you said I run America and I run
the world.
Dude's crazy. This dude is nuts, man. You guys have given the most obnoxious child the keys to the fucking village, man. I don't understand. But the fact of the matter is this because all you guys are that too. All of you guys are. That's what it boils down to. It's crazy. Like, you guys are acting like you're being responsible. He's some responsible person, and he's not. He's not trying to help you. He's not trying to lower your taxes. He doesn't care nothing about you. That's what the tax plan he's put out is going to make your taxes go up. But you don't care because you believe, he's going to get rid of immigrants.
They're going to believe it after these tariffs kick in.
You got to get rid of immigrants.
People are like, I ain't worried about no tariff. Ain't no worried about no tariff. And then start kicking in like, whoa, wait, hold on.
Why is Amazon charging us so much money? They're going to say they should be eating that cost. But you don't even want to tax them because they have put out there, let's tax businesses this. Oh, that's socialism. That's Marxism. You guys are, man, it's hard to talk to you. It's hard to talk to you. And that's why I try not to talk to you too much, because it's a very hard thing. This is a serious thing we're about to go through here. I'm not sure how bad this is going to get. Let's hope it just dies off, dissipates, and it doesn't.
China can wait it out. They can do it.
Yeah, let's hope.
China
what
China has done, they've built their own infrastructure. And like the guy said in the video, they invested in their people. They can wait. Think about it. China waits this out for 2-3 months. He's going to be begging them, or he's going to have to go to war with the motherfuckers. Honestly, excuse my language, but that's what's going to have to happen. Because they can wait it out. We can't.
People are going to be suffering. Man, it's going to be
Think about when the toilet paper got low. And it wasn't even a toilet paper pandemic. People just got low.
Bad, man. Like every small items.
I went to Fred Meyer the other day and I couldn't find my gummies. And they're taking what they're doing right now. They're taking other items and just spreading it out.
To make it look like they got stuff on the shelf.
So I'm like, wait, hold on. This whole section of stuff that I usually buy here is gone. And they just spread it out. I was like, whoa. And I noticed it.
Let me tell you how
got my refried beans and dip.
Let me tell you how it's going to get even worse, man. Port of Los Angeles said shipping volume will plummet 35% next week as China tariffs start to bite. Shipments from China to the west coast of the U.S. will plummet next week as the impact of President Donald Trump's tariffs leads companies to cut their import orders. Gene Sirocco, executive director of Port of Los Angeles, said Tuesday on CNBC's Squawk Box that he expects incoming cargo volume to slide by more than a third next week compared to the same period in 2024. According to our own port optimizer, which measures the loadings in Asia, will be down just a bit over 35% next week compared to last year. And it's a precipitous drop in volume, with a number of major American retailers stopping all shipments from China based on the tariffs, Sirocco said. Shipments from China make up about 45% of the business for the port of LA. Through some transport companies will be looking to pick up goods at other points in Southeast Asia to try and fill up their ships, Sirocco said. Realistically speaking, until some accord or framework can be reached with China, the volume coming out of there, save a couple of different commodities, will be very light at best. Along with lower volumes of goods, he expects roughly a quarter of a usual number of arriving ships to the port to be canceled in May. Trump announced a sharp increase in tariffs on Chinese goods on April 2nd, which led to escalation on both sides, eventually resulting in both the U.S. and China imposing levies of more than 100% on many goods from each other. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has described the situation as unsustainable, but there has been no sign of substantial negotiations between the two countries.
I mean, you add that, then you add China getting away from not taking our soybeans anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Getting away from our fuel.
They're getting away from a lot of our stuff. And then the port stuff. Look, we're going to have some empty shelves pretty soon. That's why they're kind of panicking. They don't want to talk about, they keep, every time they ask about, are you guys talking to China? And they're like, yeah, we talking. And China's like, I ain't heard nothing from you. Like I'm telling you, bro, China can stall them out.
Yeah,
he can stall them out.
It's looking like they're going to be in a much better position. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're China's largest trading partner by far. I mean, largest. We're like $600 billion. It's over $600 billion a year. Let me just
go ahead.
Just really quick. The next closest is like $300 billion. You cannot replace 600. It's like saying that if you were producing goods, you know what I mean, D-Mac, if you were producing goods, you think you're going to just stop producing because it's just us? No, if other countries need it more, you would produce it for them too. They just cannot. No one can come in and take over 600, almost $700 billion in goods. No one. It's just not somewhere you can say, oh, I'm going to sell more goods to you. No, it's not that you won't. They would just make more stuff. They have a bunch of Chinese people who don't have jobs. They would just build more factories and make more stuff, and people really wanted them. They just can't. I can't buy anything else from you. I'm buying my Macs.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like they can just divert the stuff to other places and they'll just buy the goods. They'll just sit on the shelves there. They're just buy your stuff for no reason. That's not how it goes.
You know what's going to be worse than the lie?
What's that?
Public opinion.
Yeah.
Because that's what matters. When you start going to the store and you're looking for your items that you usually buy and it's not there, maybe a comb, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some hair products or something, maybe a pair of jeans. And you're like, hey, I can't find them. You go to Amazon, you go to Temu, try to order them. They're taxing you $100 to get it over here. And there's no end in sight. That's what I'm saying. They can squeeze them out.
Yeah.
Think about it. China sits there for 3 months. Get them 3 months at max.
Yeah.
Squeeze them out. Because that's when the shelves are going to get empty right now.
I know we weren't around for it, but like during the when they had the oil embargo from Iran in the late 70s,
people had to wait hours
in line, and then you had to go by the last few numbers of your license plate. Are they going to start doing that for just regular household goods that we have to get?
I mean, some of the stuff,
food items.
Some places where you go, it's already locked up.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, you guys, you can only buy. You know how they do that now? Oh, you can buy 2 of them, 2 items per. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. You know what I mean? It's not going to get better. And imagine, we're not used to that. We're not used to walking in somewhere and then it's going to look like Kmart before it closed down. Remember how those stores used to look before they closed down? Like rows and rows. Yeah. That's how it's going to look here in America, man. We live in the largest economy on earth, and we're about to have to go through hell because of this person right here.
You know what's going to happen? The American panic is going to happen.
Yeah.
As soon as you find out, hey, laundry detergent is not coming in right away or whatever, boom, people are going to buy it all up. And there won't be any. Then they're going to try to scalp it like they do the Pokemon cards. Yeah. Like just like they did the toilet paper. We didn't have a toilet paper problem. You just bought it all up because you wanted to make sure you had enough toilet paper.
Now
there's still people using toilet paper.
Brand.
Hold on, Wes. There's still people using toilet paper from the pandemic today. Today. I swear. Someone's sitting in there. They go in there. They're like, we don't have chairs in here. We just got toilet paper.
Sitting on it.
Sitting on it. Sitting on it.
Hey, I'm going to say like that. I mean, the cool part about it is that, this is a self-imposed wound. We didn't have to go through this. Yep. He could have made these deals much better. What is he going to do? Tell them, you got to buy more stuff from China. I mean, I can see that happening. They probably do need to buy more stuff from us. We do need to make better deals, but you can do that in a better way, man. You shouldn't be you shouldn't just let him just sit at a chair and be like, you know what? 75% tariffs. He's just doing it off the cuff, man. He's like, it's not even a real deal. Everybody, Charlie Munger, who's Warren Buffett's partner at Berkshire Hathaway, is like, I would never want Donald Trump to be president. This is way before he made a whole video about it. It's way before Trump ever became president. Like, he'd be the worst president ever. He's just not he doesn't have the attitude. He doesn't have the the temperament, anything to be president. People knew this. Everyone said this. Yeah. Now you guys got to sit here because he fooled you because he was on Celebrity Apprentice.
No, Fear of a Black Planet. They got 8 years of a black president. They said, we ain't going back to that.
We'll take anything. You hate immigrants? You hate immigrants too? Okay. You hate those guys too? You want to get rid of all the black statues and put up Christopher Columbus, which he's talking about doing?
The only gay you like is Lady G. Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is what we're at right now, and it's all your fault.
Yep. And with that, folks, it's Uncommon Courtesy. And as your prices go up, we'll keep you updated. Till next time.